Okay, so immediately we have a port. They have supply. Hey, it's ESG back with another Hearts of Iron 4 guide, and this guide is going to be on Operation Sea Lion. So we're going to be playing as Germany, and we're going to attempt a sea lion. We have taken out the Soviet Union. It is possible to sea lion after the fall of France. So you're not going to have as much of a navy if you try to cross after the fall of France. But after I capped the USSR had actually made quite a few submarines. I'm not entirely sure why. They also have a massive navy that I took. So usually Germany only has around 60 ships or 50 ships in their main navy after the fall of France. But as you could see here, I was able to build up to 103 after we capped the USSR. Right here is an example of the old way to do an amphibious invasion, and I called it the Trident method, where you take over 3 different areas. The problem is the UK now stacks infantry up on the home island, so Paradox must have switched the AI balance in order to protect the UK home island better. So we're gonna do a different naval invasion plan here. So what I like to do is actually a bit more straightforward. I just go straight for the greater London area here. And then if we land, and we'll get supply from the port. If we don't, then we're going to have to retry. But basically the way the old method worked is you get on territories without a port, and then you would attack the port, and that's how you would get supply. But that's too difficult in the current version of Hearts of Iron 4. So what we're going to do is just take a port right away and then move in off of the supply that we gain from the port. One thing that you want to make sure to do is immediately build airports along the Channel coast. And I'm just going to move all my air to Calais. Okay, once the air is in Calais, you want to make sure that you assign all of your aces. So it looks like there's a few that I didn't get around to assigning during the Barbarossa campaign. We're going to go ahead and spread out this air. I put everything on air superiority over the English Channel, and we'll see if we can't destroy some UK air in the English Channel. The CAS can go on port strike. The CAS isn't going to be as important. The TACs are also going to go on port strike. So after you complete Barbarossa, you have a tale of the 2 cities. You choose Let's Honor the Heroes of the Last War. Okay, so we've not overstacked any of the airports right here. We're prepping the English Channel. So as you can see, since the start of war, we're going about 4-1 with the English air. They don't have anything over the Channel, so I'm going to move the fighters over Southern England. So when I moved over Southern England, we actually are contested a bit, and it looks like we're going 0-5 on KD so far. Okay, that's about 3-1. So we're doing quite well. So the trades there are working, and all of a sudden they have 2,000 fighters over the English Channel. So I'm going to move this back over to the English Channel, and they don't want to contest. So we're just going to take these guys and put them over Southern England. And as you can see, we're already destroying ships. All these subs will convoy raid us as we're attempting to cross the English Channel. So it's very, very important that we kind of marinate the English Channel before we cross. You will lose your navy if you don't take out enough ships in the English Channel before you cross. Okay, in this point of the war, I've got some resistance that I'm contending with. So I put a few spies up around the map in order to deal with some of the resistance that we're seeing. And then I also have a few spies in the UK themselves. What happens is the intel network, you get a bonus to your battle plan. So it is a little boost if you have the spies inside of the UK. The other thing that you want to make sure that you're doing is that you decrypt the ciphers on the United Kingdom, and that's going to give you a bonus. Do not use this button where you pop the ciphers unless it's absolutely critical. And it looks like we could become the spy master to get a couple more spies. So in terms of production, we're still have 50 on tank. We don't really need it. 40 on air. We're not really going to need that. The CAS, we should beef up a little bit. It looked like we had 600 CAS though, so 200 in every air zone would be fine. And we're producing infantry equipment 3, which will be very important to get the soft attack that we're going to need to make this easy. It doesn't look like we need civilian trains anymore, so I'll just go off of that. And then we're just building some cruisers for light attack, and then submarines so that we'll be able to convoy raid. Now, I had to do a very important thing with the economy in order to build the infantry equipment 3, because it takes 4 steel to build infantry equipment 3. So we're actually down to limited exports right now, and we don't really need research. We don't really need eco. We have plenty of equipment here. So it's just about building the top tier equipment. So I went down to limited exports. We're on export focus, I believe, by the Battle of France. We also have the improved artillery. That'll increase our soft attack a bit. So I am producing a bit of that. We could actually go up on that a bit. So here's the tank build that we're using. Still, we are prioritizing soft attack as well as breakthrough. It has a 77% reliability. Just make sure that you don't micro this in areas with attrition. The attrition symbol is the skull over the tank division. And we're using high reliability because this is a single player game and most of you are new to the game. I upgraded Flampanzer with a bit more breakthrough, which is defense on the offense. So that's going to make sure that our tanks don't get destroyed in combat. I switched our fighter build to a more range-focused fighter since we need to get those fighters to reach out over the English Channel. So this is the build right here. You can get even more range if you go Focke-Wulf. So as you can see here, you have a range of 10%, 10%, and 15%. So you could have fighters that really can spread out over wide air zones. The CAS build incorporates the improved close air support frame, and we've put a bit of range on that as well because it needs to reach out over the English Channel in order to help with our close air support. And we're maximizing our ground attack with 3 bomb locks. Always put dive brakes on the CAS, and then if we look at our MIO, you simply click the ground attack. So you want all the ground attacks clicks as possible. If you want to invade the US, I would recommend upgrading the infrastructure to the port at Brest. That's going to help supply during the invasion. All right, let me show you my method of convoy raiding around the United Kingdom. So what happens is as you cross and you start to take area in the British Isles, the UK tries to reinforce, and what you can do is just spread out your submarine force into smaller navies. These aren't even small enough, but I'm being kind of lazy right now. And what you want to do is convoy raid all around the British home isle. If you get some of the troops encircled around one of these ports, they'll simply move to the next port, and you can destroy a lot of troops that way. Okay, the next thing that we need to do is take our fleet and put them on naval invasion support and just put them up in the English Channel. Let's take all of our CAS and then make sure that they're on close air support, and we'll go ahead and put them up over where we're invading. They should reach over there. And then I have von Bock, and von Bock was able to get a few traits when we invaded Norway. So he has Amphibious, extra marine supply grace, 240 hours. We don't have marines. I'm not even doing these with marines. Shore bombardment bonus of 25%. So you'll get the bonus if you have your navy on naval invasion support. So just make sure you do that. You don't have to do anything else that's too fancy. And immediately they fire off. I'm going to go down to 3 speed and just stare in this area. And we'll take a look here. So the infantry's not doing very much soft attack. We have air superiority over the enemy. They have the initiative advantage, which basically he gets to pick his battle plan first. And it looks like they even built forts right there. But it looks like we should be able to land. So you can see here we have the shore bombardment bonus. And then all of a sudden, the battle bubble here turns to green. And you can see the tick marks at the top of the battle bubble, which means that we're getting that shore bombardment bonus. And all of a sudden, our attack goes way up. Basically more than doubled. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that we're engaged at high risk and that we're on never repair so that our navy stays out there. It looks like we'll probably land. And it looks like the US is already over there as well. Okay, so immediately we have a port. They have supply. I'm going to take all of von Bock's forces, put them on that battle plan, and then we'll have him start to battle plan to the east here. What we can also do is we'll take some of Guderian's forces and put them over. And I'm going to upgrade them with some negative supply consumption here. I believe the other 3 are already upgraded. So we'll just stick them on the port. Almost forgot to show you guys the tank template. There's one tank template with mech here, and then the other one just has motorized. The infantry division template is like the same. I could even add field hospitals if I wanted to. So it looks like we might be able to start spreading out here. These divisions right here look a little tired. So we have everyone else coming through. And on the defense, we even get that shore bombardment bonus. Okay, the tanks are over, but we're kind of low supply. So let's see if we can't get these guys moving around a bit. Okay, the supply's coming in a bit better. To make sure all the fighters are over southern England. If we can get another port, this is pretty much a done deal. So if the AI pops Cypher, that means you're doing a good job. And we have Portsmouth, so supply shouldn't be an issue. I could take over some more tanks, try to keep the tanks in stacks of 2. So we're still in the same air zone. Once we move up north and get a few more ports, we'll move the air in, but it's very important to keep the air back. These guys look like they're going to try to move around. Okay, we'll give a battle plan to Guderian here. So you can see that it was true that the Allies like to move around all their forces to try to reinforce the British Isles here. So that's why I was saying it was a good idea to take the subs and put them all around. Okay, so we have London. Let's start moving the CAS across. So it looks like we have 1,000 CAS. See how that treats us. We'll move over the fighters. So even right here, they're trying to land troops on the port. It's like they're trying an invasion on Greenland. I have like one division over here just to make sure that they don't get it, but they might just get it. We'll see. You can see all the convoys that we're raiding as the Allies try to move around the map. Looks like we lost some subs there, but no big deal. We're losing quite a bit of subs, but the war will be over here soon. Okay, keep the tanks out of the mountains. Keep your infantry moving with the Control B. Okay, and the UK just capped. So to see who we need to cap next in order to cap the Allies, we go to the We Are at War screen here. And the UK is one of the majors, France is one of the majors, and the United States and Ethiopia. So if you cap the Allies sooner, like after the fall of France, you will get the ability to go into a peace conference and just take the Allies out. So that's pretty easy. So I'll take Northern Ireland in Ireland, and then I'll just island hop across here to say Newfoundland, and then from there we could attack New York or Washington, and that way we could build up troops in these areas as well as supply in order to move forward. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. If you learned something, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.